Hi, I'm Lachlan Manee, the number 14 McGowan for CHE Racing Team and Southern Star Truck Centre. Join me for a lap around Wakefield Park in the Formula Ford. Sit, back on the throttle, quick lift for turn 9, back on the throttle, all about setting yourself up for turn 10. So pulling 4th gear, back down 3rd, 2nd, turning in, nailing the apex, quite a late apex there, to finish your lap at Wakefield Park. Welcome to round 3 of the Australian Formula Ford Championship, my home track, Wakefield Park.
How would you like to double your garage space and work on your cars easily? Well, bring in your own hero with a Lift King hoist. Easy to install models in 1, 2 and 4 post styles. Check the very nifty Spider 2500 portable mini scissor lift. Hero hoists are either Oz certified or carry the Euro CE, your guarantee of quality construction and reliability. I regularly stand under my Lift King, so when you need a bit of a lift, why don't you go stand under yours?
Little M Apparel for all your alteration and dressmaking needs.
Winner on pole position, the green flag waves, and it's a good start for Jarvis. He will slot ahead of Hugh McAllister into the lead. Russell Wright pokes his nose down on the inside of McAllister, but has to tuck back in behind. Chad Cotton moves up into position number 4, and then it's Craig Harris in 5th position. Cameron Sendall and Greg Willis going side by side on the run down into turn number 3. It's Sendall who picks up that position.
Already Jarvis has stretched that margin out in front. McLean continues and at a slower rate. Lewis back out on the track, so he will go on to finish this one.
But the checkered flag's going to come out this time around, and making it 3 wins from 3 races in the Mazda RX-8 Cup Series. Congratulations. I think that might have been the Andrew Roberts car that was starting from last, has not managed to get away off the start line. Shields leads them way ahead of Jones. Babutas moves up into... No, Babutas has actually lost a spot, has he? Jarrett Ruff's got an excellent start.
Jarrett Ruff, of course, came from Prototype Series, had a reasonably good...
Of course, he's fallen back behind.
Oh,
and we've got contacts. That's Courtney Prince and Nathan Hearn coming together at turn number 1. What it's designed to do and dissipated the energy with the wheels and wishbones collapsing as they're supposed to. Here comes Hunter McElrain though. Pole position and 2 wins. A perfect score for him so far to kickstart the 2018 Australian Formula Ford Championship. Race number 4 underway for the Legend cars, and it is James Burge who slots into the lead.
Morse back to 3rd behind Horrigan in the turn into 1. Jagger up to 4th ahead of car number 2. That's Josh Horrigan. So he's made a reasonably good start as well, and Horrigan goes down the inside of Jagger in turn 3, and he's been followed.
X5 who hits the early lead. A few quick cars coming through from a bit further back in the pack. Watch out.
Hi, I'm Lachlan Manif in the number 14 McGowan for CHE Racing Team and Southern Star Truck Centre. Join me for a lap around Wakefield Park in the Formula Ford. Here we are coming down the main straight of Wakefield, tuck into the wall, flat out through turn 1, slight kink, down back 2 gears for turn 2. Make sure you get a good exit for turn 3, which is a fast left-hander. You have to carry lots of speed. Hold 3rd gear through here, stay to the left, go down back to 2nd. Be sure to keep the car alive coming through turn 4 over the top of the hill into turn 5. Now the exit into 6, pull 3rd gear. Slight lift to get the nose of the car in and then back on the throttle, setting up for the fish hook. So this is a tight left-hander. Make sure to nail the apex. Run about 3/4 track exit. Back on the throttle. Quick lift for turn 9. Back on the throttle. All about setting yourself up for turn 10. So pulling 4th gear. Back down 3rd, 2nd. Turning in, nailing the apex. Quite a late apex there to finish your lap at Wakefield Park. Welcome to round 3 of the Australian Formula Ford Championship, my home track, Wakefield Park.
How would you like to double your garage space and work on your cars easily? Well, bring in your own hero with a Lift King hoist. Easy to install models in 1, 2 and 4 post styles. Check the very nifty Spider 2500 portable mini scissor lift. Hero hoists are either Oz certified or carry the Euro CE, your guarantee of quality construction and reliability. I regularly stand under my Lift King, so when you need a bit of a lift, why don't you go stand under yours?
Little M Apparel for all your alteration and dressmaking needs.
Winner on pole position, the green flag waves, and it's a good start for Jarvis. He will slot ahead of Hugh McAllister into the lead. Russell Wright pokes his nose down on the inside of McAllister, but has to tuck back in behind. Chad Cotton moves up into position number 4, and then it's Craig Harris in 5th position. Cameron Sendall and Greg Willis going side by side on the run down into turn number 3. It's Sendall who picks up that position.
Already Jarvis has stretched that margin out in front. McLean continues and at a slower rate. Lewis back out on the track. So he will go on to finish this one.
But the checkered flag's going to come out this time around, and making it 3 wins from 3 races in the Mazda RX-8 Cup Series. Congratulations. I think that might have been the Andrew Roberts car that was starting from last, has not managed to get away off the start line. Shields leads them way ahead of Jones. Babutas moves up into... No, Babutas has actually lost a spot, has he? Jarrett Ruff's got an excellent start.
Jarrett Ruff, of course, came from Prototype Series, had a reasonably good...
Of course, he's fallen back behind.
Oh,
and we've got contacts. That's Courtney Prince and Nathan Hearn coming together at turn number 1. What it's designed to do and dissipated the energy with the wheels and wishbones collapsing as they're supposed to. Here comes Hunter McElrain though. Pole position and 2 wins. A perfect score for him so far to kickstart the 2018 Australian Formula Ford Championship. Race number 4 underway for the Legend cars, and it is James Burge who slots into the lead.
Morse back to third behind Horrigan in the turn into 1. Jagger up to 4 ahead of car number 2. That's Josh Horrigan. So he's made a reasonably good start as well, and Horrigan goes down the inside of Jagger in turn 3, and he's been followed.
X5 who hits the early lead. A few quick cars coming through from a bit further back in the pack. Watch out.
Hi, I'm Lachlan Manee in the number 14 McGowan for CHE Racing Team and Southern Star Truck Centre. Join me for a lap around Wakefield Park in the Formula Ford. Here we are coming down the main straight of Wakefield, tuck into the wall, flat out through turn 1, slight kink, down back 2 gears for turn 2. Make sure you get a good exit for turn 3, which is a fast left-hander. You have to carry lots of speed. Hold 3rd gear through here, stay to the left, go down back to 2nd. Be sure to keep the car alive coming through turn 4 over the top of the hill into turn 5. Now the exit into 6, pull 3rd gear. Slight lift to get the nose of the car in and back on the throttle, setting up for the fish hook. So this is a tight left-hander.
Today is the Great Will Ridge. Looks like he's got some brakes in the front seat. Maybe he didn't have a choice about where he pulled up.
No, it looks like the steering might have been hard right, it might have been steering off into that part of the track. So brake on the recovery. They're resuming on the live stream.
yeah, big time, right in front. I'd say something's fucking steering's let go. Yeah, he's done a fucking tyrant in steering
You are watching round number 3 of the CAMS New South Wales Motor Racing Championships from Wakefield Park. Lachlan Mansell and Gary O'Brien in the commentary box, and it's great to have your company right around the world on the live stream, thanks to Blendline TV, coming to you via the YouTube channel, Blendline TV, and Wakefield Park Facebook pages. Getting ourselves set now for race number 2 of the day for the Super Sports category, which have got a total of 3 races on the program this afternoon. The news from race number 1, for those of you who've just joined us, is that it was Darren Barlow in the store who took a comprehensive race victory ahead of the Radical SR8 of Peter Hills.
Yeah, and for those who you can see by the vision, that absolutely superb conditions here. Just outside of Goulburn in the Highlands of New South Wales, 17 degrees at the moment, track temperature around 25 degrees, forecast top of 18. And apart from a fairly chilly morning, it's been a glorious day down here. Not that common around here at this time, and the probability of rain is actually less than 0. There's absolutely not a cloud in the sky anywhere, so the only moisture we've had so far is a bit of dew this morning.
Bit of fog, yeah.
And a lot of fog. Rolling start, of course, for this 12-lap event. We've got 2 more than we had earlier, and it was Barlow and Beck on the front row. Beck had a shocking start, fell right back to the back of the field, and he had to make his way forward while Peter Hills was at the back and moved his way to second. But they're on the way now. Suzuki-powered Stall takes the lead, and second spot there, right, can't see.
Whoa, Beck down the inside of Peter Hills. Those 2 cars will drag race up the hill. They're 3 wide on the run up into turn number 3. And sweeping around the outside there to move up into second position is Peter Hills, the Radical SR8. You would expect it to have the stronger run.
I don't think Peter Hills is there.
Or is he?
No.
No, okay.
No, Hills
so
is not
car.
on.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got second position at the moment, I think, is Paul Rasco.
Yes, you are right, in car number 80. Yep.
Mitch Nelson in 3rd, and I suspect it's Beck in 4th position.
Correct, yep.
At this stage, 5th would be not champion, maybe Kershaw.
It is indeed in car number 29, who's just ahead of Steve Champion in the number 34 car. Then rounding out the field in the number 56 Radical SR3 will be Greg Kenny.
In the meantime, Darren Barlow is checked out already, 5.2 seconds in front after just 1 lap.
A lot of that margin he gained because of the squabble that was going on behind him for second position. And it's a bit of a shame that Peter Hills has not been able to take the start of this race, because
he was a strong contender in the first race. If he hadn't been at the back, he had to fight his way through.
He was the one
in contention to put some pressure on Barlow.
Yeah, he was the one with the pace to mount a challenge on Barlow, but with his absence from this race, Barlow pretty much has the front running all to himself, and it's a contest between the Radical SR3s for second position.
And it's quite a good contest at the moment because there's not a lot between them. As we've seen Vasco, who finished well in the order of the first race, doing a lot better. Nilsson next, Beck looking to get past. And they're running 3 astern. There isn't much of a gap. We go back to 4th, 5th position would be Kurzok, Champion and Kenny round out our numbers. Small field, but the racing at the moment is pretty intense, particularly for second spot.
When I was down wandering through the paddock earlier, I had a catch up with Chris Papadopoulos, who's here this weekend in his role as the car preparation and maintenance manager for Radical Cars Australia, one of many hats that he wears, because he also runs a team in the Porsche Carrera Cup, among a few other things, as we see a change in second position. Down the inside goes Mitch Nielsen to move up into P2, and following him through is John Beck, who moves up into third spot.
Yeah, the Radicals are overrun by Chris or Garth Walden.
I noticed you didn't try and pronounce his surname. So Chris Papadopoulos and Garth Walden also prepares customer cars, but they have become, the Radicals, some of the most popular customer race cars in Australia, because of the fact that you can buy one ready to race, and then if you have it prepared by Garth Walden Motorsport or Radical Cars Australia, it makes it a very accessible option for people who want to go motor racing but don't necessarily have the logistics or the infrastructure or the mechanical expertise.
Just to rock up and race it is a lot better than having to get the car there yourself.
And because they've got 2 seats, they can be used for driver training. And we see people like James Winslow often jumping in the passenger seats of these cars and helping train some of the less experienced drivers.
Some of them actually got dual controls as well. Garth Walden also looks after our race leader as well. So he's, which is a Radical, it's a store. Easy to tell because it's a single-seater, whereas all these other cars in the field are 2-seaters. Of course, if you're watching the Shadows Dashels from Sandown or the Bend in a couple of weeks ago, you'll see that there's some in prototypes as well. And a spinner for Beck has gone around at turn 2. That's cost him several spots. He's up on the curbing at the moment and probably stalled it. So he tries to get going again, but he was second in qualifying, still carrying a P plate, so didn't get the greatest. We got a good start, but then had some sort of trouble going up the hill the first time, and he's having trouble getting this car going. So if they don't get going shortly, we'll have a safety car situation, as we see Barlow come out in the straight to complete his 5th lap. And I dare say we've got yellow flags local at this stage, but that might turn into a full-blooded safety car any moment. And safety car has been deployed as we expected, so he's probably just got it up on a ripple strip, stalled it, and it can't start.
Now, a bit of a change to the schedule by the looks of it. According to our race program, it was Formula race cars, but looking down at the Marshalling area, it will actually be race 1 of Formula Ford. That is up next here at Wakefield Park. So
unless they're taking all the wings off them and doubled the numbers since qualifying.
So for those of you tuning in on the live stream, Formula Ford up next. Race number 1 for round number 3 of the Australian Formula Ford Championship.
So we're under safety car with 7 laps remaining, 6.5. It's Barlow, who did have a fancy lead of around 16.5 seconds over Nielsen, and we just got a replay of that pirouette. That was a full 360. Nice.
Generally, these cars with their motorcycle engines, if you do stall them, you can get them restarted, but maybe you didn't select neutral when he spun and maybe it's stuck in gear.
Well, they'd all carry a lithium battery, and if you don't keep the revs up on them, the battery goes down very quickly.
A bit like the Formula 3 cars, where basically if you stall, you get one shot at firing it up again.
And after that,
the starter motor doesn't have enough charge.
In the hands of the recovery unit.
Or should I say, the battery doesn't have enough charge to fire the starter motor.
Often a problem if in a lot of categories, if they've been left down on a dummy grid for too long between races and don't get a chance to fire them up, they lose charge. So often you'll see cars idling over it on the dummy grid just to keep the charge up with the battery. So Barlow leads, Nielsen second, Brasco in 3rd, Kershock 4th, Champion 5th, Kenny, and then Beck, hopefully, if he gets going again. But looks like they might, I don't think they'll try and start it, I think they'll just push it aside. And you can see the recovery crew. Just one of many officials that you see around the circuits and doing an excellent job this weekend.
It's actually National Volunteers Week this week, isn't it?
And so they all came out.
Yep.
Because
so
we've got a full quota this weekend of officials.
So good opportunity while we are on the live stream to thank all of our ever hard-working volunteer officials, our flag marshals, fire rescue and recovery crews, all of the volunteers in race control as well, who give up their time so generously so that we can do what we enjoy doing most of all. And that is, in our case, talking about motor racing, in the case of all of the competitors going motor racing. Now, one of the effects of this safety car is the fact that Darren Barlow's lead, which was monstrous, has now evaporated.
It's down to less than half a second, but I dare say it won't stay that way for long.
However, it will still be an interesting battle between the Radicals for second based on what was happening before the safety car came out.
Yeah, it's just a shame that Beck had that lose down there, because he was probably in a good position to challenge Nielsen for second spot, having the pair of them go past Braco, who was second from the outset. It's a pity we just lost Peter Hills for this one. If you just joined us, yes, it is Peter Hills that used to race in Super Touring. Late 90s. Seems such a long time ago now. Barlow has an unbeaten record this year in Super Sports, and was likely to have 3 wins at the opening round of the Prototype Series until an engine drama in the last race while second, just having surrendered the lead to Peter Padden, a Radical driver. When I say a Radical driver, I mean a driver of a Radical and not some ratbag Radical driver.
So the lights are out on the safety car, so restart this time around, and 4 laps remaining in race 2 for the Super Sports.
Barlow controls the start, and a bit of a gap. They left him alone there, but now they've closed up. Nielsen right behind him, followed by Braco there in first spot, and they're underway. And they filter their way through turn 1, break late for turn 2, and out they come, and it's the stall that should lead them up the back straight and already gapping them. So go through turn 3 and head up towards the top. Nielsen second, no change in the order behind, but Nielsen has certainly moved away from challenging for his second spot.
Yeah, Mitchell Nielsen's done a good job in this race. He's built a margin over all of the other Radicals, and he's not letting Darren Barlow escape too far up the road, although in saying that, you can just see the corner speed that Barlow's able to carry on the exit of the fishhook in particular.
Very low slung rear wing on the store. There's only a few of them left in Australia. I believe there is one in hill climbing that's turbocharged. And Barlow himself has 2 of these cars.
Of course, there's the one that Adam Proctor was racing.
That's the one that's been turbocharged.
Yep.
Profile and install the difference in where the rear wing is mounted. And of course, we've got 2 types of Radicals here. We've got the SR3, well, apart from the SR8, the SR3 and the SR3 RS, a later concept. It's slightly different in the rear wing. The headlights look a lot different on it, and it has a lot more tunnel aero as opposed to over-the-top aero. Effectively, though, they're about the same speed over a lap. They just get the aerodynamic.
When you talk about tunnel aero, that's the whole ground effect principle, isn't it? Try and suck the car down onto the road.
It's the underneath side of the car and the way that works. Yep. But you'll notice too that the end plates on the rear wing are different between the 2 models, as is the LED array of lights on the front of them on the later cars. So we've got 2 laps to go. Barlow's already stretched that lead out to 3.7 seconds. Nielsen second, Braco third, under some sort of friend at the moment from Kersok, and number 29. So 80 and 29 are the 2 cars where we see the Dyson going on, and Champion not far off that as well. So there is a battle going on for third. We seem to have consolidated the rest of this field at this stage.
So Barlow, the only driver who's dipped under the 62nd bracket in this race. His best lap time of 58.5, which was set on lap number 5. So We've got some seriously quick cars here this weekend. When you think about the super sports, the Formula race cars, and also the sports sedans, we've got 3 categories that have got cars doing sub 60-second lap times.
Heading off on the final lap now, and Barlow is just cruising along at a 59. He did a 57 in qualifying. That's really quick for that car. And this battle goes on, as we can see, for position 3. Nothing in it at the moment, and one opportunity left over this final lap to try and gain position.
Yeah, the opportunity will probably be either into the fishhook or into turn number 10, the final corner. I don't think that Kurzok's going to be quite close enough. Stephen Champion closes up under brakes. He came from a long way back and made up multiple car lengths in the braking zone there.
He did that on the previous lap as well, so he's got, he hasn't got good drive out of the corners. They're pulling away from him. Here comes our race winner though, down to the line. Gives a bit of a victory weave as he takes the flag. Mitch Nelson will be second. He's onto the straight now in this battle for third. They're going to be coming across the line astern in race 2 for these guys. One more race to go. Braco, Kurzok and Champion. Nothing between them across the line in 3rd, 4th and 5th. Kenny in 6th. And of course we've seen that Beck went out of the race and caused the safety car. And unfortunately Peter Hills didn't get to make the start.
So race number 2 done for the Super Sports. They will be out for one 3rd and final race. It's actually the second last race on the program this afternoon. Coming up next though here at Wakefield Park, it's a category that gets the blood pumping. It's a category where we have some of the future stars in Australian motorsport battling for glory. Race number 1, round number 3 of the Australian Formula Ford Championship is up next. Formula Ford's about to come out onto the circuit. It's the 3rd round of their championship this weekend. It's the first race. The news from qualifying earlier on is that it was Hunter McElrea who took the 2nd pole position of season 2018, the 4th of his Formula Ford career, and also makes it back-to-back pole positions in National Formula Ford here at Wakefield Park, and he will start out of position number 1 on the grid. Bart Horston, standout performance for him in qualifying, by far and away his career best qualifying performance in National Formula Ford. He lines up out of grid position number 2 in the Fast Lane Racing Stealth, which is being engineered this weekend by 1997 Australian Formula Ford champion Garth Tander, as well as Brett Lupton and the rest of the Fast Lane Racing crew. Position number 3 on the grid, Hamish Ribberitz, the 2nd of the Sonic Motor Racing Services entries. Lachlan Maneef in the CHE Racing at McGill lines up out of position 4. Best of the Spectrum's Lee McClellan in position number 5 on the grid. And then it's one of our rising female stars, Courtney Prince, who starts out of grid position number 6. Angelo Mazuris in 7th position, ahead of Cameron Shields in 8th position. Callum Hedge, last year's New Zealand Formula Ford champion, in 9th. And then it's Tom Sargent, the best of the New South Wales state runners, in position 10. Zach Sousa, privateer, in 11th position. Jake Donaldson out of 12th position on the grid. Back to Nathan Hearn and Cody Birchall in positions 13 and 14. Jackson Burton, Ben Dahlia, Finn Allen, Connor Nicholson, Nick Padgen and Paul Zinni the top 20. And outside the top 20 we've got Dan Holohan in 21st position, Harrison Goodman in 22nd and Adrian Lazaro after all sorts of mechanical problems throughout both practice and qualifying, rounding out the field for the Duratec class Formula Fords. We get into the Kent class grid positions as well, and it was Will Marshall who took pole position in the Kent class ahead of Charlie Campbell. Back then to Shane Boma, Jason Liddell, Rob Rowe, Jeff Senior, Josh Glynn and Dave Wood, rounding out an enormous field of Formula Fords here at Wakefield Park. Gary, we've seen the Formula Fords put on some stunning action here at the Nation Spectator track in the past. What do you think we're going to see this Savo?
Nothing less lucky. Certainly, we were both witness to them racing at Whitton back in March. Since then, they've been at Queensland Raceway. So it's what, 4-2 McElrea over Hamish as far as race wins go. And
in terms of championship points, it's 104 for Hunter McElrea because he picked up that bonus point for pole position. 103 for Hamish Ribberts, and then 69 points for Liam McClellan, 66 points for Zach Sousa, and tied for 5th position Nathan Hearn and Cameron Shields, each on at 54 points. Still a long way to go though. The championship has been expanded by a round this year, so it's a total of 7 rounds. You are kidding me. That is Adrian Lazaro again. And this could well delay the start of this race because that car has ground to a halt on the run up the hill.
Today. First in a discretionary this morning, then in qualifying, and now again. But fortunately, it looks like he's going to get it off the track out of harm's way.
That's a relief. Yeah, good job, Adrian Lazaro, but
that's just out of turn 2.
The less than ideal start to his 2018 Formula Ford campaign continues.
I suspect that we will have a delayed start, another warm-up lap, because they're going to tow that car, and one less lap than the prescribed 12. We'll probably go back to an 11-lap journey.
So all of that anticipation, all of that energy, it just builds up again, doesn't it? More.
Well, that was all your energy, Locke. But look at that field. A very good field of Formula Fords running in the National Series this year. After this event, they've been spreading themselves around various different meetings running across the nation. I think, where are they after this?
So after this, the next round will be at Sandown. Yes. They're also running at Taylor Bend. We'll see them at Phillip Island for a Cam State round as well. And the final round of the Australian Formula Ford Series for 2018 will be held as part of the AMRS, the Australian Motor Racing Series, at Sydney Motorsport Park in October.
There you go. So all over the shop and doing a good job. So we wait and see. They've got another warm-up lap, as we thought they would.
What this is an opportunity for the drivers to do a practice start. So it was actually mentioned in the drivers' briefing this morning by our clerk of the course, Nick Goring, that because of the time constraints in the schedule, even though it is a national series, they will not be doing national starts in Formula Ford. However,
we've got a national start for this one, inadvertently.
We do. Very good afternoon to Richard Crail, who's spectating on the hill at turn number 1. He's up here for some other business a bit further up the road tomorrow, I believe. But great to have Crailsy here spectating this afternoon.
Good to see Rallycross doing so well in Australia at the moment. Talk about Rallycross at a supercar event at Winton in the future, perhaps. The one that we should keep an eye out on in this field is car 29, Nathan Hearn, who's qualified well outside the top 10, but we know he is a top 5 runner, so keep an eye on that one.
The BF racing cars have struggled for pace all weekend. Cameron Shields is qualified down in 8th position, and Brett Francis, the team owner, when I spoke to him yesterday in practice, he felt that they just hadn't quite nailed the setup here this weekend, so They'll keep working on it, they'll keep chipping away at it, but right now, all three of the BF Racing entries buried in the pack.
So it's still saying 12 laps, but I've got a funny feeling we might go back to 11 before the race is completed. Time certain is an issue at this meeting.
Mainly because we'll run out of the light more than anything.
Possibly. Yeah, we are only a couple of weeks away from the shortest day of the year. Going on the weather today, you wouldn't think so.
So the XM Sonic McGall of Hunter McElrea, a car that's already won a National Formula Ford title in the hands of Leanne Tander in 2016, lines up on pole position, and then the fast lane racing stealth of Bart Horston on the front row as well. Hamish Ribberitz, winner of the last round at Queensland Raceway, he lines up in third position on the grid. Lachlan Maneef, career best National Formula Ford qualifying performance for him, coming on his home track and in the most successful car here at Wakefield Park in terms of Formula Ford National Series results. Won all three races here in the hands of Cameron Hill in 2015.
There is a gap towards the back of the field, but don't be...
That's Duratec and Kent, yep.
I was going to tell everyone that. Okay, we should have a green. 5 seconds.
In the hands of the starters, ready for a race start here. National Formula Ford at Wakefield Park underway. Good start for Hunter McElrea. Bart Horston goes with him off the front row. Tucks in behind the XM Sonic McCall into second position. Ribberitz third. McClellan a good start as well. Gets down the inside of Lachlan Maneef. A couple of the state runners battling a bit further back. Tom Sargent getting overtaken by Nathan Hearn in the BF Racing entry as they head up the hill. They all sort themselves out into single file. And now the cutthroat battles that we're used to seeing in National Formula Ford will begin in earnest. The high-speed games of chess as the drivers size up each other's strengths and weaknesses in different parts of the racetrack and over the course of the 12-lap journey.
Everyone getting through the first series of corners without drama. But our top three have already started to gap themselves. That's McElrea, Horston and Rabish.
Hamish Ribberitz looking down the inside, a lock up for Liam McClellan, and he's off the road at turn number 10. Courtney Prince and Cameron Shields side by side through there. But it's McClellan, who was the best of the Spectrum drivers on the grid, just a bit wide of the ideal line heading into turn number 10, and he's dropped a bunch of spots well outside the top 10. More lock-ups happening down at turn number 2 as well. And that was Cameron Shields locking up there as he had a bit of a look at the back of Angelo Mazuris in one of the 4 Sonic Motor Racing entries in the field.
Leads gap was just 0.2 of a second last time. It's very obvious that there's not much in it. Of course.
Oh, and McElrea sideways through the fishhook there, Gary, so loses a bit of time to Bart Horston. And Hamish Ribberitz and Lachlan Maneef is going with these top 4 as well. Those top 3 have all broken away. Courtney Prince, the next one through in position number 5, but under pressure from Mazuris. Here comes Cameron Shields, looking down on the inside of Callum Hedge, the New Zealander. And those 2 cars will run side by side with Zach Sousa getting in on the action as well, and giving Shields a bit of a push along as they head down the main straight. Fastest lap of the race, 61.6 for Lachlan Maneef, that time through.
Nathan Hearn up a couple of spots up to 11 already, following Donaldson and Zuta. And one around at turn 2. I think that was someone in the top 15.
It's Paul Ziddy, the elder statesman of Formula Ford, has rotated it at turn number 2. He was stoked yesterday after practice, after punching out some of his personal best lap times around the Wakefield Park circuit, but embroiled in a battle with some of the young guns. He's overcooked it at turn 2. Finds himself facing the wrong way, but fortunately rejoins without issue.
Still nothing between our top 3 as they come around to complete the 3rd lap. McElrea leading.
Jake Donaldson making a move there on Zach Sousa, who gets forced wide as well by Cameron Shields. So Zach Sousa losing a couple of positions there, and that's spread them out as they head down the main straight. We've got Tom Sargent involved in that contest as well in the Tegra Australia entry. He'll be the highest place of the New South Wales State Championship competitors. He's behind the wheel of the second of the CHE Racing Run Formula Fords.
Down the order, and another move being made down in the fishhook.
That's Liam McClellan, who's in recovery mode after that big off that we saw at turn number 10. So he gets down the inside of Finn Allen, and Finn Allen's being coached this weekend by last year's New South Wales Formula 4 champion Lachlan Gibbons.
At the start-finish line.
That's Lachlan Maneef, and he's going to make the move for third position. Up the inside of Hamish Ribberets he goes into turn 1.
Ribberets, the winner of the last round at Queensland Raceway. He's the series leader, goes back to 4th.
So Lachlan Maneef stalked Ribberets there for a couple of laps, saw the opportunity presented itself at turn number 1 and was able to slide down the inside. Meanwhile, Bart Horston's done the fastest lap of the race, and the margin between first and second was only 0.1 of a second as they crossed the start-finish line the last time around. So McElrea under pressure.
Yeah, Ribberets is losing time. He could be under threat from Prince and ensuing company as well.
Well, the two cars behind Ribberets at this stage are both his teammates, Courtney Prince and Angelo Mazouris. Their cars both being run out of the Beacon Maria Rita-owned Sonic Motor Racing stable.
5 laps completed, they're on their 6th. Still nothing between our two out in front.
Just having a listen to some of those cars as they cruise past our commentary position. Some of them are hard into the rev limiter in 4th gear as they head down into turn 2. Formula Ford, the cars do have adjustable gear ratios, and here at Wakefield Park, because of the lack of long straights, they do tend to set them up with quite short gear ratios. Hence the reason that some of them will be on the rev limiter in top gear.
This battle for third spot has escalated to the possibility of 6 cars in contention. At the back of that is Cameron Shields. Really, when you think about it, isn't that far off the possibility of further improved position as we see another change of position.
That's Zach Sousa going down on the inside of Jake Donaldson. That is a change in 11th position. So championship points in Formula Ford are awarded all the way down to 15th position. So that's why even outside the top 10, you see these really intense, ferocious battles to the death for track position.
Yeah, and it also makes it worthwhile gaining position because it gives you a better starting position in the next race. Which is important. If you've had a poor qualifier, you need to move up the order. And being progressive grids, you can get back in the fight.
Oh, and contacts Liam McClellan, gets into the back of Jake Donaldson coming down the hill. He was looking on the inside of Donaldson into turn number 6. And for the second time this race, McClellan finds himself in trouble and off the racetrack. And some of that hard work that he'd done in making up positions starts all over again.
Not having a good run, is he, at the moment?
Zero dear. And keep in mind as well, Gary, that he was third in the points coming into this round. So this is not helping his championship situation as Ribberets looks to recapture third position from Lachlan Maneef. Side by side into turn 2. Maneef keeps the door shut. They were both fully committed at the grip threshold under brakes into turn 2.
And look at what they've picked up in the meantime. There's a few cars right in the back of them now, so...
What was a 2-way battle for thirds, now a 5-way fight because Courtney Prince has joined the contest, and so too have both Angelo Mazouris and Callum Hedge, the New Zealander.
Just got a little bit of a gap, although it seems to ebb and flow somewhat.
And here's the battle for the lead. So Bart Horston still staying right with Hunter McElrea, and they're both just about to have to start working their way through some lapped traffic. This has been an impressive drive for Bart Horston, by far the most solid performance that we've seen since he joined the National Formula Ford Series halfway through last year. Talking to his dad in the pits and also Brett Lupton from Fast Lane Racing, they've completely re-engineered the car since it was last raced at Winton. Bart's feeling a lot more comfortable with it. He said there's no one area where we've made any significant improvements. It's just been a whole lot of different aspects of the car where we found small incremental gains. They've all added up to put us a lot closer to the front of the field.
That battle for third is coming up amongst lap traffic as well, so that could weigh in on the final result.
Good job by Jeff Senior there in the Kent car just to sidestep those cars. There'll be 2 laps to go at the end of this one. It was Bart Horston who set the fastest lap of the race last time through. And check out this freight train of cars that are battling over 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th position. Maneef River, it's Prince Mazuris and Callum Hedge.
We have to keep an eye on 2 battles here at the moment, because I don't think first has been totally resolved as yet, and certainly third hasn't been. A number of cars battling it out there. And very close up through turn 3 to the top of the hill. Just trying to get back in the third spot.
So, Hunter McElrea having to negotiate his way around Robert Rowe in another one of the lapped Kent cars. And Bart Horston is as close as he's been. Is he close enough to send it at turn 10? He has a think about it. Feints to the inside, thinks better of it, tucks back in behind the number 2.
Change to third, going down to turn 10. Riddance up the inside of Maneef has got it back.
Lachlan Maneef had to make sure he closed the door then, because otherwise all of the other cars in that freight train would have followed him through and he would have lost more than just 3rd position. So good job there by young Lockie Maneef to make sure that he didn't lose more than 1 position. And again, they're going to have to fight their way through the lapped cars as well. We are on the final lap. Hunter McElrea keeping his nose clean at the front, but he's under massive pressure from Bart Horston. Basically 2 overtaking spots left for Horston if he wants to win this race. McElrea covers off one of those opportunities at the Fischl, so 1 passing zone left. Horston super close and super fast through turn number 9. McElrea knows about it. He moves it to the inside in the braking zone. Horston to the outside. McElrea defends. Horston will look to do the over and under. It's going to be a drag race to the line, but it will be the number 2 Exim Sonic Miguel that prevails just, and Hunter McElrea picks up race victory number 5 for season 2018 in the Australian Formula Ford Championship.
Rabitis gets over the line in 3rd from Maneef. Then it's Prince, comes home in 5th position. 2 after Mazuris. The next one, then it's Hodge, Hedge, Shields, Hearn up to 9th behind his teammate. Sargent rounds out the top 10. The top New South Wales point scorer at the moment.
Tom Sargent, yep.
And Suter in 11th position. Looks like Marshall may have been the first of the Kent cars home in position 22.
It'll be interesting to see what this does to the championship, because the drivers that were 3rd and 4th, Zach Suter is going to get 5 points, but Liam McClellan down in 17th position will get 0 out of that race, so he will definitely lose his top 3 position in the point standings. Some of the other drivers might actually move up a couple of spots as we have a look on our live stream at a replay. This is the incident between Liam McClellan and Jake Donaldson. Now, that was actually hard to blame McClellan for that one, because Donaldson was checked up by the car that was immediately in front of him, which was Tom Sargent, and it was just a chain reaction of nose-to-tail contact in a section of the circuit where, in these cars, you would generally be flat. So McClellan would not have been expecting the cars in front to slow up at that part of the track.
There, Lockie. Cars are all heading back to Parc Ferme. It's part of their regulations that they all go back to Parc Ferme after each race. But what a tight, close encounter that was, particularly the battles for 1st and for 3rd.
They were well behaved though, weren't they?
Reasonably.
We didn't see the carnage that we have occasionally seen in Formula Ford.
Well, it's not over yet.
But still 2 races to go tomorrow. And last year when we had National Formula Ford here, it was a similar story. They got through race 1 without drama. All hell broke loose in races 2 and 3. All right, for those of you on the live stream, we're going to go off for a break now for a little while. We'll be rejoining you again a bit later on this afternoon for race number 1 for the National Formula Ford Series. But up next, we've got improved production over 2 later cars for their opening race of the weekend, for those of you here at the track.
How would you like to double your garage space and work on your cars easily? Well, bring in your own hero with a Lift King hoist. Easy to install models in 1, 2 and 4 post styles. Check the very nifty Spider 2500 portable mini scissor lift. Hero hoists are either Oz certified or carry the Euro CE, your guarantee of quality construction and reliability. I regularly stand under my Lift King, so when you need a bit of a lift, why don't you go stand under yours?
Little M Apparel for all your alteration and dressmaking needs.
Winner on pole position, the green flag waves, and it's a good start for Jarvis. He will slot ahead of Hugh McAllister into the lead. Russell Wright pokes his nose down on the inside of McAllister, but has to tuck back into the line. Chad Cawley moves up into position number 4, and then it's Craig Harris in 5th position. Cameron Sendall and Greg Willis going side by side on the run down into turn number 3, and Sendall who picks up that position.
Already Jarvis has stretched that margin out in front. McLean continues and at a lower rate. Lewis back out on the track. So he will go on to finish this one.
But checkered flag's going to come out this time around, and making it 3 wins from 3 races in the Mazda RX-8 Cup Series. Congratulations. I think that might have been the Andrew Roberts car that was starting from last, has not managed to get away off the start line. Shields leads from way ahead of Jones. Babutas moves up into... No, Babutas has actually lost a spot, hasn't Jared Ruff's got an excellent start.
Jared Ruff, of course, came from Prototype Series, had a reasonably good...
Of course, he's fallen back behind.
Oh,
and we've got contacts. That's Courtney Prince and Nathan Hearn coming together at turn number 1. What he's trying to do and dissipated the energy of the wheels. Bones collapsing as they're supposed to. Here comes Hunter McRae though. Pole position and 2 wins. A perfect score for him so far to kickstart the 2018 Australian Formula Ford Championship. Race number 4 underway for the Legend cars, and it is James Burge who slots into the lead.
Horse back to third behind Horrigan in the turn into one. Jagger up to four ahead of car number 2. That's Josh Horrigan. So he's made a reasonably good start as well. And Horrigan goes down the inside of Jagger in turn 3, and he's been followed.
X5 who hits the early lead. A few quick cars coming through a bit further back in the pack. Watch out.
CHE Racing Team at Southern Star Truck Centre. Join me for a lap around Wakefield Park in the Formula 4. Here we are, coming down the main straight of Wakefield, tucked into the wall, flat out through turn 1, slight kink, down back to your gears for turn 2. Make sure you get a good exit for turn 3, which is a fast left-hander. You have to carry lots of speed. Hold third gear through here, stay to the left, go down back to second. Be sure to keep the car alive coming through turn 4 over the top of the hill, turn 5. Now the exit into 6, pull third gear. Slight lift to get the nose of the car in and then back on the throttle. Setting up for the fish hook. So this is a tight left-hander. Make sure to nail the apex. Run about 3/4 track exit, back on the throttle, quick lift, turn 9, back on the throttle, all about setting yourself up for turn 10, so pulling 4th gear, back down 3rd, 2nd, turning in, nailing the apex, quite a late apex there, to finish your lap at Wakefield Park. Welcome to round 3 of the Australian Formula 4 Championship, my home track at Wakefield Park.
How would you like to double your garage space and work on your cars easily? Well, bring in your own hero with a Lift King hoist. Easy to install models in 1, 2 and 4 post styles. Check the very nifty Spider 2500 portable mini scissor lift. Hero hoists are either Oz certified or carry the Euro CE, your guarantee of quality construction and reliability. I regularly stand under my Lift King, so when you need a bit of a lift, why don't you go stand under yours?
Little M Apparel for all your alteration and dressmaking needs.
On pole position, green flag waves, and it's a good start for Jarvis. He will slot ahead of Hugh McAllister into the lead. Russell Wright pokes his nose down on the inside of McAllister, but has to tuck back in behind. Chad Cotton moves up into position number 4, and then it's Craig Harris in 5th position. Cameron Sendall and Greg Willis going side by side on the run down into turn number 3. It's Sendall who picks up that position.
Already Jarvis has stretched that margin out in front. McLean continues and at a slower rate. Lewis back out on the track. So he will go on to finish this one.
But checkered flag's going to come out this time around, and making it 3 wins from 3 races in the Mazda RX-8 Car Series. Congratulations. I think that might have been the Andrew Roberts car that was starting from last. He's not managed to get away off the start line. Shields leads the way ahead of Jones. Babutas moves up into... No, Babutas has actually lost a spot, has he? Jared Ruff's got an excellent start.
Jared Ruff, of course, came from Prototype Series. Had a reasonably good...
Of course, he's fallen back behind.
Oh,
and we've got contacts. That's Courtney Prince and Nathan Hearn coming together at turn number 1. What it's designed to do and dissipated the energy with the wheels and wishbones collapsing as they're supposed to. Here comes Hunter McElrain though. Pole position and 2 wins. A perfect score for him so far to kickstart the 2018 Australian Formula Ford Championship. Race number 4 underway for the Legend cars, and it is James Burge who slots into the lead.
Horse back to 3rd behind Horrigan in the turn into 1. Jagger up to 4th ahead of car number 2. That's Josh Horrigan. So he's made a reasonably good start as well, and Horrigan goes down the inside of Jagger in turn 3, and he's been followed.
X5 who gets the early lead. A few quick cars coming through.